Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 150. I think it's 157. I don't know, man. It's hard to keep up with this stuff. But workout is done. It was a beautiful morning, about 66 degrees when I started. Whew, that's what I like. I like this Florida weather. Anyway, today is Angie and I's Friday. So we're taking Thursday and Friday off. I will be out here in the garage working on bikes, getting them ready. This Saturday we have an event. It is a charity ride for Just Against Children Drowning, I believe is what it's called. But anyway, it's about child drowning prevention. So we've done it a few times, and we're going to do it on Saturday. Then on Sunday we are headed to OCC up in Tampa, St. Petersburg, I guess it is, to Bretz, Barracuda, Harley Davidson, and OCC. They have a bike show, and one of our sponsors is going to be in town. So we're going to go up and meet them. So that is on Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday are essentially work days for us. So we decided we would take Thursday and Friday off because we've only been home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have had no chance to do anything that we need to do. I need to fix bikes. Mama Badger's got yard work to do because she's in charge of the yard. So we decided Thursday and Friday would be those days. And then we have a free weekend, and then we're off to Alabama, and then we have like 2 or 3 weekends, and then we're gone for like 2 months. So lots of stuff to squeeze in. So we need these couple of days a week where we are essentially off to do whatever we need to do. Hopefully this will be the last time I tear into silver for a long time. That's the plan anyway. But I got to get it done. I'm not happy with the oil burning that is happening. Otherwise the bike is performing flawlessly, well, except for the front fork seal, but that's not a big deal. I'll get that changed as well. So that being said, I better get to work so I can get as much done today as possible, so I can have tomorrow and the next day off. And it's time for some coffee. Let's go. All right, so I have to take a break in route planning. There's a lot of little pieces to Route 66 where it takes a lot of waypoints to get your map where you need it to be. So I have to divide up, like day one right now is going to be in at least 2 parts. But anyway, Baby Badger showed up. She had a flat left rear tire yesterday. She aired it up. She brought it down here. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull the tire off, see if I can find the hole and fix that for her. And then tomorrow she'll be back down on the V-Rod. Yeah, the V-Rod is still up at her house. Not happy about that, but she lost the key. Anyway, she's bringing the V-Rod back tomorrow, and she's leaving for Missouri for a couple weeks. So I'll have the V-Rod down here so I can go over it and make sure it's ready for the Route 66 ride as well. And then, yeah, lots of stuff for me to do. Anyway, first off, let's see if we can find a hole in her left rear tire, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I found the hole. It actually looked like somebody had plugged the tire before, and it was the old plug that was leaking. So I've been dying to use these. These are my new little plugs. I carry them on the bike. And basically they're a screw with rubber and glue around them, and you just screw them into the hole and they seal up the hole. For example, I don't know whether you guys will be able to see it or not, but right there is the one I just put in. You can see the screw head. It's a Phillips screw head. So I just removed the old plug, took that, screwed it down into the tire, and it's not leaking at all. So these are brand new to me. I think it's a really great concept, but until I've seen proof of it working and working well, it's still just a concept to me. But I really dig it. I've used the old plugs for, I don't know, ever, right? 40 years. So I'm excited about these. And I mean, it was super easy to install. No more pushing and prying and trying to get the rubber plug in there and then getting it to stay and then cutting off the excess. None of that. It just screws right in, screw it in, and voila, it's fixed. So super excited to try this out. It's working so far. We're going to let it sit for a little bit and see if it starts leaking, and then we're going to send Baby Badger down the road. But so far, this entire package of those plugs, there are small, medium, and large, was $10. And then all it takes to install it is a Phillips screwdriver. Easy peasy. Anyway, I'll let you know how that turns out. Looks like Baby Badger's tire's fixed, and we're ready to move on to the next thing. Whew. What's up, everybody? It is like 8 o'clock, which is kind of late for me to be wrapping up my video, but it has been a crazy, insane day. I spent the entire day building Route 66 maps in an app, and I have the first 2 days done. I have day 1 and I have day 2 done. And the challenge with this is I literally have, you guys have probably seen them, but I've got literal Route 66 maps. And one of them actually is like, okay, go down to Davis Drive, take a right, go to Grant Drive, take a left. So I've been reading through that and basically, you know, routing the route to be as authentic as possible. So all the little nooks and crannies where it says, well, you can skip this part by going down this interstate. Nope, we ain't skipping it. So I put it in the route. Now, of course, if whoever's riding it wants to skip it, that's their prerogative. But my maps are all taking us through all the downtowns, even downtown St. Louis. That should be interesting. And Tulsa, you know, all the downtowns. We're going to hit them all just like it was back in the day. So it just takes a lot of time. In fact, my first day is divided up into 3 different sections of maps because that's how many waypoints there is. The app I'm using only allows me 25 waypoints, which is, you know, point to point to point to point to point to point. Those are waypoints. Per map for live turn by turn. So when they turn on the app and they select the day and they select ride it, it'll take them turn by turn the map that I have set up. So I had to do 3 of those just for day 1. So they'll go through the first one. When they're done with it, they'll select part 2. It'll take them to the next part and part 3, so on. So I built 2 of them today. So far, I mean, it's smooth. It's just time consuming. I feel like I have ridden from Pontiac to Oklahoma today because I've literally like looked at the route, read the route, looked at it on computer screens, you know, drug the cursor over to certain roads. I mean, it has definitely been a process, but fun. And you know, if this, the other part to this is if this works out, then I'll be able to do this for all our rides, even rides that we like take. We'll be able to map out the rides we take, even when they're not big rides like this, and we'll be able to share them with other people that want to take those rides. And if I can get it set up right, you'll be able to do the same thing. You'll be able to take your favorite rides and share them in a group setting where all of us can get to them. And literally all you have to do is click ride that ride, and it'll take me on the ride that you went on. So I think that's a super cool concept if I can get it to work. Also talked with a sponsor for Route 66 today, and they're in, so they're gonna give us a nice setup, and then they want to sponsor maybe after Route 66 too. So I told them, let's get through Route 66, and then we'll talk about sponsorship on the backside of Route 66. So that's exciting. That's coming too. But the next 2 days, I am off of. I say I'm off of work, but I mean, I'm working on bikes and I'm recording videos, so technically I'm not. But as you can see, Mama Badger's new tire right there. Here's her new Metzler 888. That is the first tire I have ever bought off of Amazon. So, you know, people are always worried about, hey, they're just old tires sitting around. So this one was made on the 25th week of 2022. So not even a year ago that this tire was manufactured, brand new. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't get an Amazon tire. The beauty of Amazon is you can return it, right? So if you got one and it was an old date and you didn't like it, just click return and they'll send it right back, and you don't have to pay again for it. So anyway, like I said, I've never ordered one on Amazon, but it just was easy, convenient. They had the tire I wanted, and then I wanted to see about, you know, how old the code would be and so on. So anyway, everything was good. But tomorrow. Silver's getting tore down one final time, I hope. It's getting the new jugs put on it and put back together. So tomorrow and the next day, hopefully I can have that all done. I can have my front forks done, and then I don't know whether I'll get to Angie's tire or not. It's not like we have a big long ride and she's desperate to have it done. I could do it not this weekend, but the weekend after this one, so the next weekend, before we head to Alabama. That's the other thing. We just got off the phone with a couple in Alabama who are helping us set up a ride in Alabama when we come up for the event later this month. So stay tuned for details on that. Hopefully we'll get to ride with a bunch of you Alabama folk. And that'll be a good time. So anyway, I've rambled on. I've got a lot to do, and we will see you tomorrow.